Wicked Bitter.
AEW added 4 new key pieces to their roster while WWE just revamps NXT and it's now 2.0. I'm Travis, this is Josh, we're from Wicked Bitter, and this is the first episode of Dropping the Elbow. Welcome to Dropping the Elbow here on Wicked Bitter channel. We have some things to talk about here, some big things going on in the wrestling world. There's no better time to be a pro wrestling fan than right now. AEW added CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole Bay, and Ruby Soho to their roster, while WWE is taking a more different approach. They're getting younger, they're getting newer. I mean they're getting more younger people who don't have that much experience, or they're just trying to establish themselves in NXT. So NXT is going back to its roots, being more of a developmental show with the same old stuff they used to be doing, where you got people showing up who nobody really knows, and they're figuring out their characters, their gimmicks. And you didn't get to watch NXT last night, right?
No, I did not.
Okay, so NXT last night, I'm going to be honest with you, I was not really that impressed with it. The arena itself, it looks pretty cool, but the lighting is so much brighter in there. The colors, like with the paint splashed all over the place on the logos and stuff like that, it's just very weird because that's not the NXT you and I are used to. And like I want the old NXT back. I want the dark lights. I want Triple H to be in charge of all of it. I don't want Vince's hand in any of it. And that's just not the case. So the one good thing that WWE had for the longest time that we loved is now on its
stripped.
Yeah, it's stripped of all of its greatness, and it's coming back down to being like an FCW 2.0 type of deal. And I'm not crazy about that idea. So what we should do today, we got these pros and cons, right? We got some pros and cons for both AEW and WWE. And just to be perfectly clear, I do have an AEW shirt on, but that does not mean that I'm a homer for AEW. I do love AEW, but me and Josh have watched WWE since we were kids. We love it. WWE, we got so many opinions, so many memories, so many everything with WWE. But to be quite honest, it's getting very hard to watch WWE nowadays. Other than SmackDown, I mean, how do you feel about WWE? Other than SmackDown, and for the most part, it was NXT was the thing to watch.
Yeah, it was the only thing to watch at the time. I feel like this strong opinion right off the bat, I think the third hour of Raw is what really started to die down the Monday Night Raw. SmackDown, at the time, I mean, they're doing good now. They have Roman Reigns, who's now turned heel with Paul Heyman, the Bloodline. They have a good thing going there. That's pretty entertaining. Good champion now. But the SmackDown's been a little more entertaining. But now it is, like you said, NXT, which was the favorite for most fans. And I kind of feel like it was the favorite because it was like a kind of like an underground kind of thing at first. But I feel like the one mistake that they did was make it go mainstream, and ever since then there's more control over it.
Once it hit TV and it was off the network, it became a whole different ball game, and we both knew that from the start. We knew, hey, once they announced it's going to TV, you and I kind of groaned. We were just like,
yeah.
This is not going to be the same NXT.
No, it's slowly declined.
Little by little. And it's like, part of it is because of the roster that they have. Like, you lost a lot of key pieces of NXT when NXT was at its peak, and it's like, it just doesn't feel the same anymore. I watched all of it last night. I had to watch last night because I had to see how the new and improved NXT was going to be. Come on, get out of here. The new and improved NXT, right? That's what they've been marketing it as. They're saying it's 2.0. It's going to be better than what it was before.
That's not happening.
It's not happening.
I mean, I think that it's great what they're doing because it's basically what they did with the old NXT is that they worked on character development with their young guys, and they'll get there. And we're just on the early stages of it. It's just right now, when you have competition like AEW, you should have done this earlier.
A long time ago.
But now AEW's coming, and people are going to pay a lot more attention to AEW.
I find it a little suspicious that Samoa Joe all of a sudden is hurt and he has to give up the title.
Right.
I don't get all that. But I do want to shout out Ciampa. I know that you didn't watch last night, but I know
I know. Yeah,
I get Ciampa won.
I get like things that pop up on my news feed on social media, and I saw that Ciampa won Goldie again.
Ciampa is the man. He is back with with Goldie. I'm so glad because I loved Ciampa. Not that I didn't love Samoa Joe, but Ciampa, when he was at his top, like, heel persona with, like, no entrance music, he'd come out, people were like...
So much heat.
Fuck you, Ciampa.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the best. And now, I don't know if he's going to go back to that again, but...
I see comments, and it's like, someone was just like, oh, you take away the NXT champion from an oldie and give it to another oldie instead of a fresh face. But I feel like that doesn't really make sense to me, because why would you put it on a fresh face right away? But, now you can have Ciampa, who's well-established. Everyone knows he's feared. Just think of the guy, the fresh face that faces Ciampa and takes down Ciampa.
Yeah.
That launches that guy. So
the other thing is, too, I think with Karrion Kross, the way NXT built Karrion, I'm not talking main roster Karrion Kross, because that's a whole different Karrion Kross. As everybody who watches WWE, you know that when people get called up to the main roster from NXT, nothing ever happens for them. So I'm talking about NXT Karrion Kross, who is an absolute monster. Right? The only way you were going to get the title off of him was with a believable person, and I feel like that believable person was Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And I feel like the plan was to get the title off of him so that Joe can just do this, give it up to someone else. You know what I mean? Because if you had Cross just lose it or just whatever, it wouldn't look, I guess, the same or right because of how they built Cross in NXT.
But even if that was the case, that's kind of like just really lack of creative.
Oh,
because you could have.
That's one of my cons.
You could have like put Joe in like a triple threat. He doesn't get pinned. You could have Joe get distracted in a roll up pin,
which they always do.
Yeah,
the distraction roll ups.
I guess they just cut corners.
Yeah, of course. It's WWE we're talking about here. So we got the pros and cons, right? You got pros and cons for AEW. I got pros and cons for WWE. We don't have that much time because believe me, I could have wrote a lot of these.
Scroll.
So do you want to kick it off with AEW? What do you want to start with, pros, or you want to start with cons?
We'll start positive.
Let's go positive. Power of positivity. And by the way, speaking of that, big shout out to Big E because I haven't watched Raw in months, but then I saw tweets of him wanting to cash in on Monday Night Raw, and I was like, I have to watch just in case.
Yeah, I think that's why he did it.
I think they did it is for the ratings thing. Like Bobby Lashley, don't get me wrong, I loved Bobby Lashley as champion, dude. Like, that was amazing.
That's probably one of the best I've seen Bobby do.
That is the best I've seen him ever. And for him to even beat Randy Orton, another big match that he just successfully defended at it, and then you have Big E cash in. I think it is like a breath of like new energy for Raw because they know they need it, especially with everything going on with AEW, all that kind of stuff. So you need something people want to tune in to see.
Well, they have a draft now. Yeah,
that's coming up in a couple weeks, the beginning of October.
That's probably one show I'm going to want to tune in for.
I love the drafts, but it's now.
It seems it's not like it used to be.
It's not, dude. It's more of like a scripted type of draft more than it felt like it was just like a crapshoot.
Like, why did Big E win the champion? So he can go to Raw and New Day goes to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Or
like if two people are feuding, they always draft the first guy to the show, and then like, oh, they're not with it feuding anymore. And then like a few picks later, that other guy he's feuding with gets drafted to the same show, and you're just like, well, that feud's going to continue over there. And it's just not the same.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised like if they're looking for a new opponent for Roman. Yeah. So they're gonna probably like put McIntyre, who can't do the other title anymore. So they're probably gonna draft McIntyre to the other show to challenge Roman.
Josh, let me tell you something, man. I am so worried for Finn Balor's demon.
Oh yeah.
I love Roman right now. This is the best. This is another one of those things. This is the best Roman we've ever seen, but not at the expense of the demon.
The demon. Man.
The expense of the demon?
Yeah, they're gonna ruin everything, the meaning behind the demon, pretty much.
Oh my god. Well, let's just jump into these already. Let's get into AEW power and positivity. Let's go.
All right. The first pro for AEW I have is very entertaining show from start to finish. Now I say that because when I watch AEW, it seems like whatever match comes on, I'm always on it.
Invested, man.
I'm always invested into it. Even in the picture-in-picture they post up there, I'm always watching the match.
Dude, they actually had a match end last week in picture-in-picture. Who was it? I forget now.
I'm not sure. I forgot. But I know. But that's kind of cool. And I think it's kind of cool because like while there's picture-in-picture, they want you to stay.
Pay attention, yeah.
Because anything could happen.
Yeah, how many times you get on your phone during picture-in-picture on each show? You know what I mean? You can't hear the audio, so you're just like, whatever.
Kind of makes it a little more authentic feeling.
It kind of does. I like it. You know? Yeah. Should I go with a pro?
For WWE?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the first pro I put for WWE is they have money and unlimited resources. I mean, it's true. And I'm not saying AEW doesn't have the money.
But I mean, took a business pro.
I did, because Vince, if nothing else, he is a smart businessman. Now, when it comes to booking shows and being creative with people can debate. He's not the best at it, or he's lost touch or lost feel, whatever you want to say.
Right.
But when it comes down to actual business and actually making money, this dude has a well-oiled machine. He has done this for a very, very long time. And although AEW has a lot of money, this is Vince McMahon we're talking about here. You know, he's got marketing, he's got stocks, he's got people.
Right.
I mean, he's got everything right now. And not only that, he's just signed 2 big TV deals with Fox and USA recently. So, I mean, that's a pro for WWE.
Which, by the way, yeah, it's a good pro. But which, by the way, if anyone thinks that AEW is going to put WWE out of business, I don't think that's going to happen. If anything, WWE will stick around. They will still stick around. If AEW surpasses them, WWE is still going to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
Still going to be there with NXT Revamp 3.0.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Raw 5.0.
Legends Night.
Yeah.
All right.
What you got for a con?
Con.
For AEW.
For AEW. Con for AEW, I put weak women's division.
Yeah.
But that's not just the talents itself, because the talent could put up some good matches. I think that the women's isn't really booked the way it should be.
Yeah.
I feel like there's less attention on the women's division. Britt Baker's basically just saving that women's division, I think.
And
because there's a lot of eyes on her.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like before like the Britt Baker hit and everything, the AEW women's champion, I feel like there was less eyes on that. A lot less eyes.
Yeah, I agree. The women's division definitely needs a shot in the arm, and I think Ruby Soho going there, I think helps that. Her and Britt. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Ruby beats her for that title. As hot as Britt is right now, I could see Ruby doing it. Just you need an anchor on that women's division.
If she does it, then I think there is no rematch clause in AEW like it is in WWE though.
They would find a way.
Maybe a rematch thing.
A con for WWE, you already mentioned it, the lack of creativity.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
how many times do you see the same exact matchups every single week? If there's 4 guys feuding, they will find a way to make it one-on-one 4 different ways, or three different ways, whatever ways you want to break it down math-wise. That tag teams, they'll find ways to make it. It's just what matches are coming. You just do. Like when guys get into a feud or girls get into a feud, you can tell what's going to happen. Well, that means that's going to be a 6-man tag next week, or that means that's going to be a triple threat. And the roll-up finishes, the distraction finishes, the false finishes, telling you that there's going to be a championship match on Raw or SmackDown, and then when that comes, there's a false finish or a disqualification. It's like, it's too much of that. You already know.
There's no clean finishes, it seems, on these shows. The only times I think, if we're lucky, we get a clean finish is on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's the only time.
Or an event.
They don't give anything away on TV anymore.
Nothing.
Second pro for AEW.
Putting young talent on the map. And what I mean by that.
Give me some examples, man. I know who you talk about. Let's go.
All right, so at first you had Orange Cassidy facing Chris Jericho.
On the map.
MJF facing Chris Jericho.
On the map.
Darby Allin.
Definitely on the map.
On the map now, especially after facing CM Punk. And then Christian Cage with Jungle Boy.
Yeah, man.
In the ring, in the Rumble, they're putting these guys up against well-known veterans, and they're making them look good.
They're being smart about it.
Simple as that. Also, putting Darby, pairing him with Sting by his corner.
Yeah,
Sting's already enough of an icon. They say, everyone's going to pay attention to Sting. Who's with Sting? Darby Allin.
Yeah, man. They associate the two now.
Yeah.
I got what am I on? Oh, I'm on a pro for WWE.
Yes.
I got a long, successful history. Again, this is more of like they've been around forever, before you and I were born. I mean, they've been around for so long, and this comes back to even when Vince's dad was handling it. Vince McMahon Jr. is the one that has made it what it is. You know what I mean? Moving away from territories and going more mainstream with everything like that, which is actually my third pro was they're mainstream. Everybody knows WWE. I mean, if you're not a wrestling fan, you know what WWE is, whether you watch it or not. You know who some names are. The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker. I mean, if you're not a wrestling fan and you hear those names, you know that that's a wrestler.
Yeah.
You can't say the same for AEW right now unless you're bringing up guys who...
I mean, it's only been here for like 2 years.
Exactly. Unless you're bringing up guys who are already made in WWE, like Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho.
People are going to know who Jericho is, but they might not know he's with AEW. Yeah. So they have a long, successful history. They're mainstream. those are pros for WWE. Unfortunately, all my pros have nothing to do with what the product they're putting out every day. This is more of like behind the scenes, more like business, more, you know what I mean, numbers kind of thing, instead of like the actual what they're giving us every week.
Yeah. But you could easily almost guess it. Like I pretty much I'm almost like 80% positive Drew McIntyre's getting drafted to face Roman. Just saying that.
I can see that.
Yeah, because Drew can't go for that title anymore. What are you going to do with
This goes back to the lack of creativity. We already can figure out what's going where and who's going what. You know, I mean, we know what's going on before it happens, kind of thing.
Yeah.
What are we on now for you? A con?
We are on con. Second con for AEW. And that is, in my opinion, this is what I think about AEW. I think that they don't have enough babyface wrestlers that are over.
Okay.
That are over with the crowd.
I can see that.
Who's like believable to take down Kenny Omega. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the goal right now. Yeah.
Now, you have Punk now that was signed and Bryan Danielson, but other than those guys, Hangman Page maybe?
Yeah.
But he already faced Kenny Omega. And there's not much.
I get that, and I think that's part of the reason, like you said already, like them putting over the younger guys, like Jungle Boy. Like eventually, Jungle Boy will be on that status. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe it.
Darby already is on that status. You know what I mean? You put Darby versus Omega, who knows? Maybe Darby wins. You know what I mean? But I know what you're saying. There isn't enough. But this is why I like them bringing in people like Punk wants to work with Ricky Starks. Dude, Ricky Starks is gonna be the future of that company.
Ricky Starks is really good.
Yeah, and I know he's a heel right now, but I mean, we're talking about developing and coming up with brand new stars. You know what I mean? Like Jericho lost 3 matches to MJF before he finally won one.
Yeah.
And that's creating a star. I mean, even though Darby lost to Punk, this is something people get a lot confused. You don't have to be over or get over only by winning. You can lose and get over.
For sure.
Like that's the whole story of Daniel Bryan. You know that bro kick at WrestleMania to Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
He lost that match in like 10 seconds, and right after that, Daniel Bryan was more over than anybody in the world. Like it's organic things that happen like that, and you can lose and still go over. Just the fact alone that Darby was in a match at all with CM Punk in his first match back in 7 years of not wrestling at all and wanting nothing to do with wrestling, that already puts Darby way over.
For sure. I mean, to go back to that Daniel Bryan thing, do you think that there would be that much of a reaction from the crowd or, from what they got back from that match if he wasn't so ignorant coming down that ramp saying, like, I'm the champ. Yeah. I'm the champ. Yes.
Yeah.
And, he was being really ignorant that WrestleMania coming down.
Right.
And then Sheamus takes his head off, who was the face that time. And that, I don't know. I guess that entrance played a factor into that.
That's that organic stuff, man. I remember Vince. I remember hearing a story about it where Vince was like, "I just want you to go out there and be the most obnoxious you can be," and that's when Daniel Bryan started doing those things.
Yeah.
And then the crowd just caught on, and like the yes chants were born, and they're gonna stay with him forever. I mean, those yes chants go. This is gonna be a take right here, a hot take. Those yes chants are gonna go down in history as probably the most iconic chants, other than the Stone Cold chants.
What? Yeah, the what chants.
I mean,
it'll be up there.
You see the yes chants, the no chants, everywhere you go.
It will pop up a lot in wrestling, no matter what company.
It will, yeah.
Because how superstars go, oh, who wants to see me kick this guy's ass tonight? Boom,
boom, there it is.
Yes. Yeah, that's the perfect. And he did the no. So it's perfect.
Yeah. My second con for WWE is my last ones. I mean, I did all 3 pros. I got 2 cons right now. Second con, same people on top.
Oh, yeah.
Same people on top.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, anytime they give it to... Like, my fear is that Big E is going to face Goldberg.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing.
No, but here's the thing.
It's the same thing, though.
Here's the thing is that I actually think Big E will beat Goldberg.
Beat Goldberg?
Beat Goldberg. I think so because I watch, like, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff and everything, but Big E and Goldberg are really close. Well, I don't know if they're really close like
I
that,
remember hearing about
but
this.
Like they're really good friends.
Yeah.
And Big E loves Goldberg, and I think Goldberg is the same way. So I think Goldberg actually might let Big E beat him.
I mean,
if it's up to him.
If it's up to him, I can see it. I mean, he already lost to Lashley, so I don't know if Goldberg's taking back-to-back L's like that. But
how big would that be for Big E?
It'd be huge. But this is going back to what we're saying, though. Like the same guys. Same guys.
Like I could think of Roman, Brock, Goldberg. Dude, Cena for a long time. But
as soon as the crowds came back, because of the whole COVID stuff, as soon as the crowds came back, Charlotte Flair wins the women's championship.
Charlotte Flair, another one. Another one.
You know what I mean? Becky Lynch. Listen, I love Becky Lynch. Like
I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
I love Becky Lynch. I love her. But they did Bianca Belair dirty at SummerSlam. I agree. Dude. They did it so. I mean, she has carried that SmackDown Women's division for a while now, and the crowd was behind her. She's over. Don't worry about that. She's over. People love her, and she's great in the ring. She's good on the mic. I mean, what? She is the future. She is the future. Consider the future of WWE or SmackDown or Women's Division or whatever.
Yeah.
And you have Becky come back, which everybody is happy to see Becky back. But there could have been a better way to do what they did to get the belt back on Becky. I don't like what they did to her.
What I feel like is that Bianca should have just faced Carmella that night, whatever, WrestleMania, and Bianca beats her. Doesn't have to be fast. Could be a regular match. And then Becky comes out.
Yeah.
And big pop. You still get the big pop.
Yeah. You can still go heel.
Yeah, you can still go heel. And then all you have to do, you don't have to say any words. All you have to do is during her celebration, just point to the title.
Something.
And then just leave. Don't go down there and beat her in like 15 seconds to take the title. I don't know. That was bad.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. The lack of creativity, the same people on top. I mean, it's rough to watch WWE nowadays, Raw or SmackDown. But SmackDown has been pretty good. I will catch SmackDown.
I will be honest. I have not watched WWE shows as in SmackDown, Raw, or NXT. And I used to watch. NXT was the only thing I watched.
Yeah.
But it's really true. Undisputed Era, once they broke up, my interest just dropped dramatically. And then they did this revamp thing. I don't want to watch any of it.
No, I know. Hey, that was a big mistake for me, I thought. But can we talk about... I know this is not the show for it, but can we talk about Adam Cole real quick?
Oh, for sure.
Look, hey...
That's all I have time.
Hey, I feel like NXT did Adam Cole so good. Like, he came out looking so good as, like, the leader of that faction. Now seeing him back in wrestling in AEW with the Elite, he looks like he's a bigger star than the Elite, dude. He looks like he doesn't fit in the Elite to me. And I know he's been in the Elite before, been in the Bullet Club with them, all that kind of stuff. But just him coming down it all out and then getting in the ring, I felt like he was bigger than that. I felt like, and it's not a knock, and I love that he's with the Elite right now, because then it's eventually, it's going to lead to him feuding with Omega for the title eventually, or something down the line, right?
I honestly feel like he is on that level for Kenny Omega right now.
He is, dude. He is. I heard the other day, Adam Cole's like 31 or 32. This dude's not even in his prime yet.
Yeah.
And he came into AEW looking like a big fucking deal, dude. Like, I was more excited for him than I was for Bryan. And I love Bryan. You know what I mean? I think he looked like a huge star. And I don't know. I feel like if he wins that title, that dude's going to run that show for a while.
I was more excited for Cole.
Me too.
But this is the reason why, is because you heard, Daniel Bryan. You already, you had a feeling Bryan was coming to AEW. You always had a feeling. But like Adam Cole, it was like his contract was at that point where it was like, is it gonna end, or like is he like what's he doing? And then we heard like a couple days before the pay-per-view, he's not returning to WWE.
Yeah.
A couple days ago, like a couple days passed by, it's like he just comes out and we're like,
dude,
oh
and
my God.
That song's so sweet, man.
Dude, we flipped.
Oh my God, I was so excited. We got to watch the show with a couple of friends that we haven't seen in a while, and what sparked all that was CM Punk returning. See, like, this is what I'm talking about with AEW. They care about the fans. You know what I mean? They want to make the fans happy. And look how many people have gone back to watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that Punk's back. You know what I mean?
I mean, what Punk drew eyes to the product. But then when Punk draws eyes to the product, and then you watch the pay-per-view afterwards, and you see Cole and Daniel Bryan come, and those great matches, you just brought in a whole bunch of fans back.
Daniel Bryan said it best. He said that he loved where he worked, which was WWE. He loved it there. He said he loved the people he worked with. He loves Vince McMahon, all that kind of stuff. But if he was happy and he loved there, and he still chose to come to AEW, I mean, that's saying huge things about AEW.
AEW, I feel like, which, by the way, is one of my pros for AEW, and I want to say it right now, not really strict.
Yeah.
And giving freedom to talent.
Yeah, man.
And the reason why I put that pro is because like you kind of hear interviews where they're just like, it's a better place to work. They don't feel so like spectated all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they have little freedom. You know, like they have do whatever you want on the mic. You know,
exactly,
go out there, do whatever you want.
Bullet points, man.
Yeah,
that's the way the Attitude Era used to be. Bullet points, just hit your spots and then do whatever else you want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why I feel like that was one of the big pros for AEW. As long as that keeps going, that's going to be the destination for everyone now.
Yeah. Do you have any more pros and cons?
I'll say another con.
Go ahead.
A con is misusing talent. A lot of companies, the people say they misuse a lot of people, but these are I have a couple names right now that I feel like are being misused on AEW, and that is Brian Cage. And it's true. Brian Cage, like, if you've seen him on, like, Lucha Underground or any other, like, wrestling promotion, Brian Cage was always up there, and he was, being dominant. And he's really good for a big dude. And another one is, I know he's got a stable right now with Ethan Page, but Scorpio Sky.
Yeah.
Scorpio Sky, I feel like he probably should have faced Kenny Omega by now as a babyface.
Yeah.
He would have been good for an opponent for Kenny Omega.
I think they have plans for Scorpio for sure, because I think he just legitimately signed a brand new extension with them. And rightfully so, they should have expectations and high views of him, because Scorpio Sky, when AEW popped up and he was with SCU, you could tell right away that Scorpio was going to
stand out.
He was. You knew that he was going to go on his own and become a star. Yeah. And it's still there. The time for that to happen is still there. And I think what will catapult that even more is when he does end up most likely feuding with Ethan Page, when that splits and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think when they break up, it'll be Scorpio as the face and Ethan as the heel. He'll stay a heel or whatever. But yeah, I mean,
Scorpio needs to do something on that roster.
I agree with the misuse of wrestlers, because the thing is too now there's 2 hours of Dynamite and then there's only 1 hour of Rampage. That is it. Other than the dark shows like Elevation and all that kind of stuff, AEW Dark. Other than that, you're not going to put those things on Dark and Elevation or whatever. You're going to put it on Dynamite and Rampage. So my thing is, I think eventually we're going to be looking at a 2 hour Rampage or a third show or a third hour of Dynamite or something, because there's too many people.
Their roster is building at a dramatic rate,
and it's great because it's such a super. It's a huge roster.
It's a huge roster, but it's everyone that well, in my opinion, everyone that I like, basically, everyone that you need in a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they got it. AEW's got the roster.
I mean, WWE, it's just crossing people off the list in WWE, And it's coming down to the bare bones of just maybe like 10 people in WWE right now that I care about to watch. And the rest I might like, but I'm okay if I miss them.
There's only one person I'm interested. A couple of people. All right, I'll say a few. Roman, which is shocking.
Right, yeah. We couldn't say this 2 years ago.
Yeah. Roman, Seth, and Cesaro.
Cesaro, man. For me, it's Cesaro, Seth, Roman, Kevin Owens. I've always loved Sami Zayn. I know he gets a lot of flack, but I've always loved him from the start. I actually like the way Baron Corbin's been going, but like even with Corbin, it's like I am not upset if I miss it. But there's some guys that I need to watch. You know what I mean? I love that Edge is back, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, other than that, dude, other than like maybe 10 people, I can't think of a reason good enough for me to stay tuned into a 3 hour Raw. I just can't do it.
It's not even like they use these people like Cesaro or Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn like we want them to. So it's like, why even watch? And then also there's like talks that like Kevin Owens is Kevin Steen, his contract's coming up, and maybe he returns with the Young Bucks and Adam Cole.
They've been teasing it.
Or who else?
Sammy's is coming up.
Sammy Gargano.
Yeah, that's
Johnny
right.
Gargano in December. I heard his contract is up. That's insane to me. Well,
who knows?
Let me get another pro in here. It's actually just like focusing on the wrestling part is AEW. AEW does a lot more. All right, let's put it this way: if I have a friend and I tell him to watch Monday Night Raw, he watches 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. And I say, all right, and the next week I make him watch AEW. He'll see a lot more things on AEW wrestling-wise than he would on WWE. And I feel like a lot more fans are drawn to like the wrestling moves that they do and all that, rather than saying like this person slept with me or something like that in WWE. That we just had a marriage on NXT. I saw that.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
There was like weddings and stuff like for WWE.
First night, Vince is in control.
Yeah,
you get a wedding.
You get a wedding. Yeah. The AEW got like a freaking 3-way tag team steel cage match.
Hey, I love it. I love the actual wrestling aspect of AEW. That's what makes it more appealing to me too. let us know what you guys think. Let us know if you liked the new NXT 2.0. If you didn't like it, let us know. Tell us which one do you favor more, AEW or WWE? This channel, Wicked Bitter, Dropping the Elbow, our first episode of it. We're going to be trying to do this more often, maybe once a week, hopefully. We'll just be talking about WWE and AEW. Those are the two companies we follow the most, so we'll talk about that. And we want to know your opinions. We know there's a ton of wrestling fans out there. You don't have to hate either one. You could love both. I just think it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. So let us know what you think. Drop likes, drop comments, subscribe to the channel. Let us know. We got a ton of other things we're going to be starting doing here on the channel, and we just want to be interactive with all of you guys. So again, it's Josh, Travis. We'll see you next week for the next episode of Dropping the Elbow here on the Wicked Bitter channel.